Everybody coming in for our, what is it today? Wednesday class, right? Today is Wednesday. It is almost to the end. We are getting close to the end. I'm going to have a practice test for you this weekend. You can do a practice test, and then next weekend we'll do the final test, okay? Hello, Ching.
Hello, teacher.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, there's Rita. Hello, Rita.
Hello, Mr. Webb. How are you? Good evening.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Nice to see you again, or to see your
Thank
picture anyway.
Yes, how are you doing, Mr. Webb?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're chugging
Good.
along here, getting through the day.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, middle of the week. We
It is.
have how many more? Let's see. We have
2
10
weeks?
more lessons after tonight. 10 more lessons.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. 9 more lessons after tonight, because today is Wednesday, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, we have one more lesson this week after tonight, and then we have 4 and 4, and then finish. 9 more lessons. Oh my gosh. And then who knows what happens in the fall. We'll see. I hope we can have school in the classroom in the fall. Back in the classroom. I will be believe me, your teacher will be a very, very, very happy teacher when we can go back to the classroom. Because I'm getting tired of the video conference. We're doing our best, but this is not the best way to learn English, right?
Yeah, too much
Face to face.
right?
Face to face is the best way to learn English. So hopefully someday we can meet again. All right, are we ready to get started tonight?
Yes.
Tonight
Yes.
we're going to move on and we're going to talk about chapter 5. Chapter 5 is actually not a very difficult chapter in my opinion. So we'll probably go over it pretty quickly. There are a couple things in chapter 5 that I'm going to put your attention to, but I don't think we're going to work on it for a long time, not 2 weeks or anything like that. Because we still have, I want to see if we can finish 5, 6, and 7. 3 chapters more in these last 3 weeks. Probably we might not finish everything, but I can jump around and give you the best and most important things. And then you'll be all finished for the summer. All right. Now, if we can get started, let me share. Oh, there's Armando. Let me share our practice here today, if I can find it. ¿Dónde está? Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to open it up again. Today is the 27th, right?
Morning.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Wade. Good afternoon.
Hello. Hi, Armando.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. My long weekend is 10 one more day. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's right. No problem. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's cancel that. Let's try again. There it is. Okay. Can everybody see our verb practice?
Yes.
Yes, very good, very good. All right. We have some words highlighted here. That's a reminder about our perfect verb tenses. So let's see how we can do with this tonight. All right, the first one has the word ever. Remember, that's going to be present perfect, right?
Yes.
Has.
So has
Mr. J.
Mrs. Jones ever
Baked.
baked cookies, right? The next one is avoid. Do we want a gerund or an infinitive with avoid?
Drinking. Gerund.
Gerund, right. Remember, avoid, stop, finish, quit, cancel, postpone. All of those words use gerunds. So my daughter avoids drinking soda. already, that's going to be present perfect again, right?
Yes.
So what can we say for that one?
Has already.
Has, right. Has already
Studied.
studied.
Study.
Has already studied. All right. The next one, we have the word practice. Sometimes I practice. Practice what?
Speaking.
Speaking. You got it.
Speaking English.
I practice speaking English with my friends. Practice plus gerund.
Mhm.
The next one is a negative for yesterday. How do we make a negative past?
Didn't
Voice
ask.
didn't make.
Sure.
Didn't ask.
Didn't ask. There we go. All right. The next one says never.
Terry
Has
has never
never, right.
Never.
Smoking.
Has never smoked cigarettes in her life. Has never smoked. Present perfect. Dislike, says number 7. Dislike sounds like present perfect to me, huh? No, sorry, present perfect.
It's like
Gerund.
waiting.
Gerund, right.
Waiting.
Right. Mike dislikes waiting for people. At the moment, that's back to level 1, right?
Yes.
What do we say for at the moment?
What
Are you
are
doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
Exactly.
doing?
Exactly. Enjoy plus gerund or infinitive?
Gerund.
Gerund.
Gerund, right.
Children's.
The next one says next year. It's a plan for the future. So what can we say?
Will sell.
Well,
Will sell. Will sell.
Or are going to sell, right?
are going to sell.
And remember, you could even say are selling. We can use that present continuous for the future sometimes, especially with plans. The next one says we love something. What do we love?
To go.
The children love going to the park.
Or
Going
going.
to the park.
Remember, like, love, hate, begin,
Dislike.
start, and continue can use gerund or infinitive. Now, the next one, number 12, says not yet. Not yet.
Hasn't made.
That's
Hasn't made.
perfect,
There are
sure.
7.
Hasn't made. The next one says, what flowers in his garden next year? Will Sam
Will
plant?
plant.
Mhm. Or is going to plant?
It's going to happen.
I'm going to plant.
Number 14 says, many times before. Many times before. What can we say for that one?
That
Has,
has
Tried.
been trying.
Has tried,
has
right?
been
Right.
try or has been.
Has tried to get a job at that company many times before. The next one is 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Will be start.
The game
Will start
at 8.
or I heard somebody say will be, but remember,
Will
if we
be.
have will be, we want to have the ing.
Okay. Will be started.
We'll be starting, no problem. The next one says, I'm tired. We in this line for 3 hours.
We have
We be
We have been.
we
We
have
have been
been
in this line for 3 hours, sure. Have been. The next one is about Walter and last year. Something happened last year to Walter. What happened to Walter last year?
What?
didn't wrote.
Walter wrote a letter to the president last year. Wrote. The next one says lately. What can we say for lately?
Have
Have you
you
eaten?
Have you, right?
have you eaten?
you
Have you eaten
Eaten.
at any good restaurants lately? The next one says Herman needs. Needs what?
to
Come.
Oops.
come.
Needs to come, right?
Needs to come.
Need plus infinitive. The next one is last week. Last week is past, so what can we say there?
Did.
Did.
Mhm.
Did
Did Jim attend the meeting last week? Did attend. Good. All right. The next one, forgot. Forgot
Order.
to or forgot ing?
Forgot it too.
Forgot to.
Two.
Remember when you
Two.
have responsibilities, we use infinitive with forget and remember. Please remember to do your homework. Don't forget to call me, right? Responsibilities, we use infinitive for that one. The next one, it's a question about a city, about your knowledge. So what do you say? Are you, do you, have you? What do you like?
Do you?
Do you know?
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way to San Jose? Some of you who are a little bit older might remember that song. Remember that song? Do you know the way to San Jose? Do you know the way to San Jose? All right. Let's see the next one. Just. Quiet. The class
Has just
has
Has
just
Begin.
begun. Right? Has
begun.
just begun. Present
Tengo que cerrar la puerta.
has just begun. All right. And the next one is a question about Greg and his wife.
When
When
was?
When did Greg
did?
and his wife get married?
when did
Get married.
When did get married?
When did they get married? Right?
yes.
And the next one says, since I bought my new car. Since I bought my new car, what?
I
haven't
Haven't typed.
taken.
Haven't
haven't
taken.
took-
Right?
taken.
Taken.
Haven't taken. I haven't taken the bus since I bought my new car. All right? All good?
Yes.
No problem?
No.
All right. Very good, very good, very good. All right. Let's see. Oh, Claudia, no problems tonight, huh?
No, no. Thank you.
Gracias a Dios, huh? You were having such troubles last night. I
Yes.
was feeling so sad for you last night. I was seeing you
Thank
come in, what, 20 times, 25 times you were trying to get in?
Yes, I did several times.
Crazy, crazy. Anyway, welcome everybody to our Wednesday night edition of English class. Tonight we are going to move on in the book a little bit, and we're going to go into chapter 5. Chapter 5. So again, we have chapter 5 and 6 and 7 that we haven't studied yet in class this semester. We won't be able to study everything from every chapter because we just don't have enough time. Like I said, we only have 9 classes after tonight, so we don't have that many classes to go. But we're gonna do our best. Tonight we're gonna talk about adverb clauses. Now we've talked about adverb clauses before, but we've talked about conditional clauses using if, right? Or we've talked about cause and effect clauses using because or since. So now I want to talk about time clauses. And time clauses are probably the easiest one because that's the one we've been practicing for the longest time. We've been practicing time clauses since way back, maybe in level 1, definitely in level 2 we started to talk about time clauses. And maybe I don't know, I never teach level 1, so I don't remember what's in that class sometimes. But certainly in level 2 we start to learn about time clauses. So we're gonna work on that a little bit tonight, time clauses. So let's start a little bit with the board. We'll go to the board, we'll talk about time clauses a little bit, and then we'll look at our books and practice in the book a little bit tonight. Sounds good?
Yes.
Sure. All right. So let me share my screen here. and I'm going to get to the whiteboard tonight. All right. Again, like I said, the things in this chapter are kind of review. So most of these things in chapter 5 we have studied before. So that's why, like I said, we can go over it a little bit faster than usual because there's not that much that's new in this chapter. Let's talk about it a little bit. Time clauses. Now remember, we've always talked about clauses, and we've talked about how we can have the connector, and then we would have a subject and a verb, and then a comma, and then another subject and another verb. So let me give you an example with that pattern. After I woke up, I took a shower, right? Right? We have subject and verb, comma, subject and verb. Or we can do it the other way, right? We can have our main clause first. Subject plus verb plus connector plus subject plus verb. Remember, this is the same thing we were talking about when we were talking about because and since and if, right? We've been talking about all those clauses too, right? Those are clause connectors too, because, since, if, right? But now we're talking about time clauses. So again, we're going to do the same thing, right? I took a shower after I woke up. Okay? Look familiar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, I need a comma if my clause connector is in the first position. And if my clause connector is in the second position, I don't need a comma. Right? When I have my clause connector in the middle, no comma necessary. When my clause connector is in the first position, I need that comma. Right? And remember, when I have a clause, what do I mean? I mean a subject and a verb. So with these connectors, we're always going to use two subjects and two verbs. Sometimes they're the same subject and the same verbs, but sometimes they're different. But the key point is I can put my connector in the first position, or I can put my connector in the middle. Okay? All right, now let me put that over to the side for a second and talk about all of the connectors that we've had so far. Right? Of course, the first two that we learned were before and after, right? Those are the classics, time clause connectors. But we also had when and while. And now tonight we're going to add two others. We're going to add two others. We're going to add two that are very closely connected. As soon as and until. Right? Before, after, when, while, as soon as, until. These are the clause connectors that we've learned so far in the class. There are more. For example, there's also by the time, right? And since. But all of these are going to be used with what? A subject and a verb. a subject, and a verb. So, for example, before I went to bed, after I ate dinner, when I got home, while I was sleeping, as soon as you finish your homework, until I understand the lesson, by the time I mailed the package, since I was a little boy, right? They're always going to be a subject and a verb. That's the whole idea of a clause connector, right? Now, here's the thing. The verbs that we use with these clause connectors are typically let's see here. Typically, we use two kinds of connectors here. It's so much easier when you have a blackboard and you can do this.
Mhm.
Right? Typically, those are the clause connectors we use. We use a simple present or a simple past, depending on the situation. I'm going to put a little star by one of these. A little star by while. And we know from level 3 what's typically the verb with while. What kind of verb do we use with while usually?
Or what? Us?
When?
Past.
Usually
When? What?
with continuous, right?
Oh.
Right? Usually a continuous verb, past continuous usually, right? While I was sleeping, while we were playing basketball, while we were watching TV, whatever, right? Typically with continuous, while. But all the others, since, by the time, until, as soon as, when, after, before, are usually with simple present or simple past. Now, what's the important point here? The important point? Important. Right? Never use will in a time clause. We can use simple present, no problem. We can use simple past, no problem. But we never use will in a time clause. And we know this already from using conditionals, right? Remember conditionals in chapter 9 and chapter 10? What do we say? If I go to the store, I will buy donuts, right? If I go to the store, I will buy donuts. Present and future, right? We already know this because we practiced it in chapter 9. But here it is again in chapter 4 and 5. We use the time clause with will. So the important point is that the time clause verb is usually a simple verb and usually simple present or simple past. Now, there are sometimes we can use present perfect or past perfect, but generally, you're always safe, simple present, simple past, with this one exception, while, right? While is almost always with continuous. Does everybody have that written down?
Yes.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's take a look real fast And if you have your book, you can get out your book. This is going to be chapter 5 in the book. And let's see if we can look at page, what is this page? 60, 60.
58.
Hmm?
58, 60?
No, I want you to go to page 60.
Okay, 60.
We'll look at the grammar first and then we'll do the listening a little later. Okay? So here we are looking at the 2 new ones we're learning tonight. But I want you to notice the verbs. Present, past, future, right? In simple present, no problem, right? Present tense verbs. In simple past, no problem. Past tense verbs. What's the one we have to pay attention to? The future.
Future.
Right? Why? Because in the future, we have one verb that's present and one verb that's future. Notice the example. As soon as Mr. Shamash finishes his lunch, Almaz will leave the quiet palms. As soon as he finishes lunch, simple present, Almaz will leave. Main action, future. Time action, present. Right? And the same thing true over here. Almaz will stay with Mr. Shamash until he finishes his lunch. Right? So we have as soon as and until. Right? As soon as and until. And what are the verbs? Simple present and simple past. Simple present and simple past. Right? Typical time clause verbs are simple present or simple past. 90% of the time in English. 10% you might have a continuous verb or a perfect verb, but 90% of the time, simple present and simple past. All right, now let me go back to the board for just a second, because I do want to talk about one thing with this as soon as and while. Okay, can I erase this stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, no problem.
Yes.
It's gone now. All right. Whenever I use until and as soon as, it always indicates a change. Right? Well, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to make a little line here. All right. Again, this is when I need a blackboard, I'm telling you. I'm going to make my little timeline here. Okay, so here's my little timeline. Right? And here's my little, let me see if I can put a little piper here. There we go. Okay. This is a very complicated drawing to make on a blackboard like this, I'm telling you. Okay. Okay, so until is always up to a certain moment, right? And then as soon as is after a certain moment, right? So let's say, for example, let me give you an example here. Okay, so I'm working now. Carlos comes at 11 o'clock, and then I go home. So what are we going to say? I'm going to work until Carlos
Okay.
comes, right?
Comes.
I'm going to work until Carlos comes. As soon as Carlos comes,
I go home.
I'm going to go home. Exactly.
I'm going to go home.
So whenever you have until and as soon as, you're indicating a change, right? From one thing to another thing, right? I'm working now. Carlos comes at 11, then I go home. So I'm going to work until Carlos comes. As soon as Carlos comes, I'm going to go home. A change from one thing to another thing. A change from one thing to another thing. So until and as soon as are like partners. So for example, if I say, my daughter is going to live with me until she finds a job. My daughter is going to live with me until she finds a job. Now, how do you say that same thing with as soon as?
As soon as my daughter
As soon as my daughter got a job,
up,
What happens?
she's going
she will
Going to live with me.
she's going to live with
going
me.
to live with me.
No, as soon as she gets a job, she's going to move out, right?
Oh yeah. She's going to
Right.
move
Let me
out.
write that on the board, right? My daughter is living with me. She's looking for a job. Then she's going to move, right? So,
Yeah.
so I say, my daughter will live with me. Do I say until or as soon as?
Until.
Until she finds
Oh.
a job, right?
Yes.
And then as soon as she
She
finds
got a job.
a job, what's she gonna do? She's
She's going to
going
move.
to move out, right?
Move out.
Until, as soon as, right? Until indicates when you're gonna stop, right? As soon as means when you're gonna start something new, right? So my daughter will live with me until she finds a job. And then as soon as she finds a job, she's out of here. Right? So there's always a moment of transition. I probably shouldn't say now for this timeline. I should say moment of transition. Right? Until the moment as soon as the moment happens. So, for example, right now, we are having online classes, right? And what could you say with until? You could say, we're going to have online classes until what? We're going to have online classes until
the pandemic get better.
The end of the year.
until
What's
it's
wrong?
safe. Let's say until it's safe. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to have online classes until it's safe to go back to school. But as soon as what?
As soon
As
as
soon
it get better,
As soon as it's safe,
as soon as it's safe, we're going to go
we're
back
going
to
to go
class.
back to school. Exactly. So there's going to be a moment of transition. We're going to have online classes until it is safe. And then as soon as it's safe, we're going to go back into the classroom. Right? Until,
It's difficult.
as soon as. Until, as soon as. Right?
Yep.
So until in Spanish, hasta, right?
Yes.
Hasta.
As soon as, I don't know, something. Antes something, right?
How about
As soon
Mandarin?
as tan pronto como
Tan,
in Spanish.
tan pronto como. Okay, I can
Yes.
learn that one. Tan pronto como. As soon as. Okay. All right. So let's look at it in the book. Can I go back to the book now?
Yes.
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 Okay,
Yes.
let's go back to the book and look at the examples they have again. All right. They have past, present, and future, but it's the same idea. As soon as Mr. Shamash finishes his lunch, Almaz leaves the quiet poems. So what's the moment of transition? The lunch, right? So Almaz is going to stay until he finishes the lunch. And then as soon as the lunch is over, she's going to go home, right? So we have Almaz working. Then Mr. Shamash has lunch, and then she goes home right away, right? She goes home right away after that. Until, as soon as. And there's a moment of transition. In this case, lunch. Right? In this case, lunch.
Yes.
Okay? All right. So let's see if we can do some of these sentences here. Decide if it's until or as soon as. Remember, until means that's the moment you're going to stop. As soon as means that's the moment you're going to start. So, example. Mr. Shamash is in pain. When will he start to feel better? He'll feel better as soon as he takes his medication. As soon as he takes his medication, he'll feel better.
So, excuse me, teacher, I am a little confused. How
Okay.
about as soon as the meaning like after, right?
Right,
Oh,
but immediately after.
Oh, immediately after.
Right away.
Oh,
Right? Yeah, when I say after, you don't know when it happened, right? So for example, you can say, after I did my homework, I watched TV. It could be 10 minutes later, it could be an hour later, right? But if you say as soon as, it's right away after,
oh,
right? It's always, again, think of the moment of transition. So for example, so this medicine, does it work slowly or quickly?
quickly.
It works very quickly, right? Because Mr. Shamash will feel better as soon as he takes the medication, right away, right? It's a very fast working medicine. It works very fast as soon as he takes the medicine. It's like after, but very, very fast after, right? It's the same as after, to be honest. But it just tells you it happens really quickly.
Immediately. Yeah.
Immediately, right. All right, let's see. How long will Mr. Shamash stay at the Quiet Palms? He will stay as soon as or until?
Until.
Until his hip heals, right? Until, right? And then, how can we say it the other way? What can we say with as soon as? As soon as
As soon as
As soon as
Mr.
Mr. Smash,
heals,
as soon as the hip heals,
yeah,
He
he will
he
He
will stay in quick.
he will stay or he will go home.
he will go
he
home.
will
Go
go
He will
home.
go home. Exactly. As soon as the hip feels better, he will go home. As soon as the hip heals, everybody know this word heal?
No, I don't know.
Yes.
He,
Heal
La cadera.
means to get better.
uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah, especially for like a broken, something broken, or we use heal a lot when we talk about injuries, right? You don't use heal very much when you talk about like being sick, right? But we use heal when we talk about like an injury.
Like
Right?
when
I
you
broke
cut
my leg
yourself.
and it took 3 weeks to heal,
Okay,
to feel better.
feel better.
All right, so he'll stay here until the hip heals. Everybody know your hip,
Yeah, cadera.
yes.
right on your side here, right? Your hip,
Yes.
where your leg is connected to the rest of your body, right? That's your hip. All right, the next one. When does Mr. Shamash get ready for his walk?
As soon as Mr.
As soon as,
Shamash
oh,
feels
wait a minute, we didn't
stronger.
do
Oh,
number
you
three.
missed the number
Sorry,
three.
I
Yeah.
missed number 3, you're right. When can Mr. Shamash begin exercising again?
After
No,
As soon as
as soon as
soon
as
as-
soon
As
as
soon
as-
as.
as soon as
As soon as he feels stronger, he can start doing his exercise. All right, but what? How could you say that with until?
until Mr. Shamash feels stronger, he can start doing moderate exercise.
He can't, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he can't exercise until he feels better, right? He cannot start exercising until he feels
Until-
better, right? It's very popular to use not with until. Not with until. All right, good.
He cannot do it.
All right, now number 4. When does Mr. Shamash get ready for the walk? He gets ready
He gets ready as soon as
as soon as Almaz arrives,
Shamash
right?
arrives.
Right, because they go for a walk as soon as she arrives. They go for a walk as soon as she arrives. Or we could say he doesn't get ready
Until
until she arrives.
until she arrives. Okay.
Okay. All right. So how long will they play cards is number 5. How long will they play cards?
They
They
play
were
cards.
until
the time for
It's time
lunch.
for
Until
lunch.
it's time
Yeah.
for lunch. Right. They'll play cards until it's time for lunch. Or as soon as it's time for
When
lunch,
it's time for lunch, they will stop
They
playing.
they
will
will
play
stop
cards.
playing cards. Exactly. So they will play cards until it's time for lunch. And then as soon as it's time for lunch, they will stop playing cards. Right away. Right? Okay. Number 6. Everybody know this word in number 6, nap? How long
Yes.
did Mr. Shamash nap yesterday? Everybody know that word nap?
Like
Yes.
take a nap.
To sleep in the
take a-
afternoon,
take a
right?
nap.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Usually we say to take a nap, but you can use nap as a verb here.
Oh.
Okay. So how long did Mr. Shamash nap yesterday? How long did he take a nap?
Until
Napped
Almas came to
until
visit.
Almas came to
Right,
visit him.
until Almaz came to visit, right?
Oh,
He
until.
napped until
Until
Almaz came to visit.
Mo come to visit.
How could we say with as soon as?
As soon
soon
as
as Almas came to
Almas
visit,
came to visit, he woke.
He woke
He
up,
woke
right?
up.
As soon as
woke up,
Almaz
yeah.
came,
He
he
woke
woke
up.
up. As soon as Almaz came, he woke up. All right, good. All right. When is Mr. Shamash going to go to sleep?
As soon as.
As soon as the visitors leave,
visitors
right?
leave.
As soon as the visitors leave, he's going to go to sleep. He'll take his medicine and go to sleep. Or what could we say the other way? He won't take his medicine
Until
until the visitors leave.
Until.
visitors
He
leave.
won't take the medicine until the visitors leave. Good. All right. Number 8. When did the nurse assistant help Mr. Shamash with the shower?
Until
As soon as Mr. Shamas
As
woke
soon
up,
as he woke
the
up,
nurse-
right? As soon as he woke up. Again, an easy way to decide if it's going to be until is try the word after. If the word after makes sense, then as soon as makes sense too, right? So
okay.
after Shamash woke up, the nurse helped him. So as soon as she woke up, the nurse helped him. Because what does until mean? Excuse me. What does as soon as mean? As soon as means
After.
immediately after.
Okay.
Immediately after. Right? So it just has a little extra feeling to it. Okay?
What do we do until that sentence, Mr. Webb?
Oh, with until? Okay. So
Uh-huh.
so what are we going to say? Until he woke up,
Until woke up.
the nurse
The nurse assistant
The
helped him.
nurse,
Can.
the
Can't-
nurse,
The
Can't
nurse
help him.
assistant helped him until
yeah,
Shamash
maybe we
woke
could
up?
say the nurse can't help him until he woke up.
Yeah.
The nurse couldn't help him until he woke up. We would use the negative over here.
couldn't,
So
couldn't.
just to repeat for just a second here, let me go to the board for just a second. And let me see here. So basically, not until, oops, equals as soon as, right? They're basically the same. So let me give you an example. I won't go to bed until the game is over, right? I won't go to bed until the game is over. Negative with until. But what can we say? As soon as
The game
the
is
game
over.
is over, I
I
what?
don't. I don't go.
I will
I will
go
not. I will go.
to bed. See the difference? I won't go until. As soon as the game is over, I will. They're the same thing. I won't go to bed until the game is over. Or, as soon as the game is over, I will go to bed.
Yeah, got it.
Got it?
Yes.
All right. Let's go back to the book here then and let's listen to all those examples and think about until and think about as soon as, and then we're going to practice a little bit in small groups. And then we're going to go back to the listening here. Okay, so, oops. Okay, let me just get a second here. Okay, give me 1 second. Got to push a couple buttons here. Okay. There we go. And there we go. Okay. All right, so let's listen to each of these sentences and think about until and as soon as. Here we go. Let me put this over here.
Page 60. Exercise 2A. 1.
Mr. Shamash is in pain. When will he start to feel better?
He'll feel better as soon as he takes his medication.
2.
How long will Mr. Shamash stay at Quiet Palms?
He'll stay until his broken hip heals.
3.
When can Mr. Shamash begin exercising again?
As soon as Mr. Shamash feels stronger, he can start doing moderate exercise.
4.
When does Mr. Shamash get ready for his walk?
He gets ready as soon as Almaz arrives.
5.
How long will Mr. Shamash and Almaz play cards?
They'll play cards until it is time for lunch.
6.
How long did Mr. Shamash nap yesterday?
He napped until Almaz came to visit him.
7.
When is Mr. Shamash going to go to sleep?
As soon as his visitors leave, he'll take his medicine and go to sleep.
8.
When did the nurse assistant help Mr. Shamash with his shower?
As soon as Mr. Shamash woke up, the nurse assistant helped him with his shower.
There we go. Very good, very good. All right, now we're going to take a look at the next page. I'm going to turn your microphones back on, and we're going to talk about it a little bit together, and then I'm going to have you practice with a partner. Let me see. Get everybody's microphone back on here. Unmute everybody. Okay. And let me do here. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's look at some of these actions here. Let's talk about them together, and then we'll talk about them in a small group. All right. Now is what it says. It says, talk with a partner. Discuss Charles' volunteer activities. This is the next page, page 61. Use as soon as or until. So, for example, we have arrive and put on a name tag. Which one would be better there? Well, what does it say? As soon as he arrives, he puts on his name tag. Or he doesn't put on his name tag until he arrives. So try to say it two different ways, right? So again, let's think about the sequence. First he arrives, then he puts on the name tag. So as soon as he arrives, he puts on his name tag. Or in the negative, he doesn't put on the name tag until he arrives. Okay? So let's do a couple together, and I'll have you do the rest with small groups. How about number 2? Get his assignment, go to Mr. and Mrs. Halliday's room. What would we say for that one? So what happens first? Does he go to the room first, or does he get the assignment first?
He gets the assignment first.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets his assignment,
As soon as he gets his assignment, what does he do?
he goes to Mr.
Holiday's room.
He goes to Mrs. Halliday's room. So as soon as he gets his assignment, he goes to Mrs. Halliday's room. Or
he will go to Mrs. Halliday's room until he gets his assignment.
Right, he doesn't go to Mrs. Halliday's room until he gets his assignment. Good. All right. Let's do number 3 and number 4, and then I'll put you into small groups to practice all of them. All right. How about number 3? It says, walk with Mrs. Halliday, feel tired. So what can we say there?
He will stop as soon as Mr. Halliday feels tired. He will stop.
Right. They stop walking. Right. As soon as she feels tired, they stop walking. Or he walks with her until
she feels tired.
She feels tired.
Exactly. Okay. And what about the next one? Read and lunchtime. So what can we say for that one?
He reads to Mrs. Halliday and at lunchtime
until
lunchtime.
And then as soon as
As soon as
It's lunchtime.
He
his lunchtime start,
stops
he
reading.
read to Mr.
He stops
Holiday.
reading, right? Yeah. So as soon as lunchtime begins, he stops reading, right? As soon as lunchtime begins, he stops reading. Okay, everybody got the idea?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, good. Okay, so let me stop the share for a second. Okay, and does everybody have a book?
No, I don't have.
David doesn't have a book. Okay, David, I'll put you in a group with somebody that has a book. Okay, everybody else has a book.
I don't have to.
Who doesn't have a book?
I have-
Claudia?
Mr.
Rodriguez?
Webb,
Okay.
can you share the page again? I can take a picture,
Oh, okay, sure. I'll share the page again.
please.
Yeah. If anybody has a camera, you can go ahead and take a photo of all these. Oh, some people are driving by and honking their horns. Congratulations.
I got it. Thank you.
Everybody got it?
What book is that? Purple? White?
You can do a photo or a screen save. Okay. Okay. So, all right. I'm going to stop the share. Okay. And okay. So we're going to go into small rooms. We're going to go into, let's see, 3 rooms today. And let's see. Who doesn't have a book? Rodriguez doesn't have a book.
I don't have.
And Noel, you have a book?
Yeah, I do have one, but I don't know which book are we going to use.
Okay. And Claudia, you don't have a book, right?
I have, teacher.
You have a book. Okay. David Azuela doesn't have a book.
Yes, I don't have book.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I got all the people without books in one room, so I can share the paper in that room. Okay. Okay. And then, all right. Okay. All right. So are we ready? All right. Let's practice as soon as and until, and then we're going to do the listening, and then we'll be done for tonight. But let's practice this first. Okay. Here we go. See you later.
Very nice.
Hello,
Very
everybody.
good. Hello.
Oh.
Okay.
Mr. Webb.
So this is the no book group, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can you all see the picture now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. So we don't need the book. We can just practice with the pictures on the screen. All right. So let's practice together. Why don't we start with David for number 1?
Okay. Oh, for number 1 or number 5? The next one.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Oh, okay.
For
Okay.
extra practice.
Okay. As soon as Carlos arrives, he puts the name tag.
Right. As
His
soon as
name
Carlos
tag.
arrives, he put it on his name tag. Good.
Yeah.
Rodriguez, how about number 2?
As soon as he's Mr. As soon as he's get assignment,
As soon as he gets his assignment, what does he do?
he going to Mr. Holiday's room.
Right. As soon as he gets his assignment, he goes to Mrs. Halliday's room. Good.
Yes.
Number 3. Noel.
What is what is it? Okay. Until
Okay.
until he walked with Mr. Holiday.
I think you want to use until, but I think it wants to be in the middle, right?
Yeah. For example, he walked with Mr. Holiday until she feels tired.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. He walks with Mr. Holiday until she feels tired. All right. David, how about number 4?
Okay. He read to Mr. Holiday until lunchtime.
Until lunchtime. Very good. Very good. All right. Number 5. We're back to Vegas.
Can I say he stopped reading
He stops reading.
until lunch is delivered?
But the verb is stop here. So he reads until it's delivered. But he stops.
Okay, Mr. Wade, can I say as soon as the lunch is delivered, he stopped reading?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, as soon as the lunch is delivered, he stops, right? No more reading after lunch, right?
Okay.
He wants to give Miss Holiday a chance to read by herself, right?
Yes.
All right. Number 6, stay with Mrs. Holiday and finish eating. What can we say there for number 6, Noel?
She'll stay with this holiday until she finish eating.
Exactly. He stays with Mrs. Halliday until she finishes eating. Good. All right. The next one says, watch TV and time to rest. Watch TV and time to rest. What can we say there?
He's watching TV until Mr. Holiday go rest. Sorry.
Yeah. They watch TV until it's time to rest, right?
Until it's time to read. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Watch the TV until it's time to rest. Okay, good. And then let's see, where's the next one here? I got to get back to my paper. Where am I? Screen share. Okay, where am I? I'm on the wrong file here. Here we go. Whoops. No. Donde está? I lost the book. Let's see. The book is here, right? Okay, right here. There we go. Okay. All right. So the next one is number 8. What do we say for number 8?
As soon as he goes home.
As soon as they finish playing a game with
Right.
Mr. Holiday, he go home.
Right. As soon as he finishes the game, they go home. He goes home anyway. He goes home.
He goes
okay.
home. Yes.
Good. So listen to me as I say these words and think about as soon as and until. Right. Okay. So just listen. You don't have to say anything. Just listen. So
okay.
So as soon as he arrives, he puts on his name tag. As soon as he gets his assignment, he goes to Mrs. Halliday's room. He walks with Mrs. Halliday until she feels tired. He reads to Mrs. Halliday until lunchtime. He stops reading as soon as the lunch is delivered. He stays with Mrs. Halliday until she finishes eating. He watches TV with Mrs. Halliday until it is time to rest. He goes home as soon as he finishes playing the game. Right? Agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Más o menos, huh? Más o menos. Very good.
It's a little confused.
A little confusing. I understand. A little confusing.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. So let's head back to the main room, and then we're going to practice some more. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna close this share here. Stop the share, and I'm gonna leave the room, and then I'm gonna call you back to the main room. Okay.
Okay.
Oops. Wrong button. Let's see. Breakout room. Leave the room. And
537. 507.
Welcome back, everybody. Here comes everybody. Coming back slowly but surely. Okay, here we go. Everybody back.
Mr. Webb, I have this one list. Stay with Mr. Holiday until she's finished eating.
Mhm.
What are we
Number
doing with
6.
as soon as?
As soon as she finishes eating, he will leave. Right?
Oh,
Oh.
okay. As soon as she will leave.
We
Okay.
can change the verb.
Sure. Why not? Why not? We can do whatever we want, Isadora.
Oh, this way because we weren't
Trying
we
to
weren't
use
changing the verb. This way.
yeah. I guess you could say he won't stay as soon as what? No, that's a little weird. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
as soon as she
Mhm.
finishes eating, he will go.
He will leave.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes more sense, right?
Yeah, I was like so
All right.
easy,
No problems,
easy for
everybody.
the teacher.
Easy for
Yeah.
me, right? Easy for
A
me.
lot.
All right. All
A
right.
lot of
A
problems.
lot of problems, but
The teacher can do whatever he wants. He change.
exactly?
He can
I
change.
can
He
do
can put.
whatever I want. This is my classroom. The teacher's rules are the rules.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's do one more practice with this, because remember, what is our main idea that we're learning tonight? We're learning as soon as and until, that's for sure. But also remember, when the time clause is future, the verb needs to be present, right? That's the key little weird thing that we have to remember.
When the time clause is
When the
future.
time clause is future, the verb is present, right? So it's always after I get up tomorrow, right? Even though you're talking about tomorrow, you use simple present. Remember, what did I say at the beginning of the lesson? When we have a time clause, simple present or simple past, 90% of the time. 90% of the time, simple present or simple past, right? And so future time clauses, present tense verbs. So I say, as soon as the quarantine is over, I'm going to take my family out to a restaurant. Right? Maybe.
Pero you say never use will in a time clause.
Right. In the time clause. In the main verb, yes. In the time clause, no. Because remember, we have two parts, the time clause and the main clause. Main clause will be will or going to. The time clause, simple present. Right?
Okay. Okay.
So in fact, I want that's exactly what I want to practice right now. So I'm going to share a website page with you.
So you say when the time clause is future, become a simple present.
Right. The verb is simple present in the time clause. So can you all see the examples here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just do this together, just to keep in mind that this is true. Right? Do you notice what do we have in this first part? I will please call us. I'm going to. All right. So what are we going to say here? The next one, I will be ready as soon as you
are.
As soon as you are, right?
Yeah.
I'll be ready as soon as you are. Next one.
Until she returned.
We stay here until she
returns.
Return.
With that S, right?
Simple present.
We'll stay here until she returns. Notice this word till, right? Till is informal for until, right? T-I-L-L. Sometimes sometimes you'll see it written in like a novel or something like that, but it means until.
Okay.
It means until.
Oh, okay.
Don't write it in a paper because that's very informal English. But people say it all the time, right? I'm gonna work till 5 o'clock. We say it all the time, right? I can't leave till my brother comes, right? We say till a lot. All right. Next one. Please call us when you
Arrive.
arrive. Please call us when you arrive. Simple present.
Simple present.
I'm going to tell her before she
Leaves.
leaves. Simple present again, right?
Before she leaves. Yes.
She lives.
Now, number 5, I don't know who
I
made.
don't know.
I don't know who made. Hold on. I don't know who made this website, but this is a bad question because this is an indirect question, right? I don't know when the party starts, but so this is a bad question. So don't think about number 5. I will have to write whoever made this website and tell them they made a mistake. All right. Yeah, because remember the word when is sometimes a time clause and sometimes a question word, right?
Yes.
Right? That's the only one that's like that, right? All the others, while, after, before, they're only time clauses. But when is sometimes a question and it's sometimes a time clause. Here is a question, so that's a bad example. All right, anyway, back to business here. He will drive you there whenever you
Need.
And remember, whenever is the same as saying every time, right? Whenever, every time. All right. The moment. Now, there's another one. The moment is like saying as soon as. The moment. We don't use it very often, but it means as soon as. So, as soon as summer
Is here.
The garden will be beautiful. As soon as summer is here, the moment summer is here, the moment means as soon as.
Yes.
So if someone says, I will call you the moment I know, as soon as I know. All right. I'm going to take that exam after I study again, simple present.
Simple present. Yes.
And the next one. Don't worry. I will sorry, number 9. Sorry, you're right. He will wait for you until
you are back.
You are back.
You'll be back or you came back?
You are back.
Until you are back.
He will wait for you until you are back. Can we say get back instead of are back?
Until you get back. That's what I would say. I would say until you get back.
Mr. Wade, we can say we will you until you get back.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would say. Yeah, I will wait until you get back. But be back is okay. It's just not as common. All right. What does it say here? It says here, don't worry. Now this one has while.
While you what? No what?
But it's I will.
I will.
So what are we going to do?
You swim.
Swimming?
While you swimming?
Swimming. Yeah,
in the lake. Are swimming.
While you are swimming in the lake.
Yes.
Now we could say while you swim. But I would say while you are swimming. Because while, like I said, is usually with a continuous verb. But in this case, not past continuous, present continuous. Because what did I say? Future time clause, present tense verb. Future time clause, present tense verb. Okay, so far so good?
So far so good.
All right, good. So. All right. Let's see if we can make this little story. What does it say here? It says, make it a little smaller here so we can read the whole thing. There, can everybody read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so some of these are going to be future and some of these are going to be present. So we have to be careful. Again, let's think about it. Which verbs are present? The time clause verbs. Which verbs are future? The main actions. Time clause verb, simple present. Main action, will. Okay, so the first word has after. So what am I going to do here?
Graduate.
After I will.
Anti-graduate.
After I graduate, right?
Yes.
Graduate.
After I graduate from this school,
I
I think I will take.
I will take.
right? Notice we have one verb present, one verb future. After I graduate from the school, I will take a long holiday and travel in Europe. When I
Start work.
start work, when I start work,
I
won't have.
I won't have much time for myself, right? When I start work, I won't have time for myself. Therefore,
I start.
I start.
before I start, I
will go.
I go.
When
I will
I
go.
will go to England.
To England.
England, France, Spain, and Italy.
Spain, and Italy.
Right? Before I start work, I will go to France, England, Spain, and Italy. All right. Now the next one has if, but it's the same story, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what can we say?
If you take.
If you
take
If you take
No,
the
you take,
Euro-rail ticket, you can travel
you
inexpensively.
can travel.
So
So I
won't
you won't have to spend so much.
I
You won't have.
won't have to spend so much money for my travel expenses. I won't have to spend so much money. And the next one, after
I come.
Came back. Right.
I come.
impact.
after I come back to Turkey, I
I will start looking
I
at
will
I
start
will
looking.
start looking for a job.
excellent. All right, so far so good.
Good job.
All right,
So good.
all right, all right. Now we have a few more to connect. All right, notice what it says here. Join the sentences, use the words in brackets. Again, main action, will. Time action, simple present. Main action, will. Time action, simple present. Okay, so can we do this? I think so. What does it say? We will get there and we will send a message after that. Okay, so what do we say?
Soon.
Soon after.
Soon after we sent a message.
Well, what do we do? What, soon after we get there,
we get there.
we'll
Send a message.
Send a message.
A message.
right?
Yeah.
Time action, present. Main verb, future. Soon after we get there, we will send a message. Okay? I would like to finish, it will get dark. Okay? And I have the word before.
Before
Well, let's do it in order. So I would like to finish.
I would like to finish before it will get dark.
Before it gets dark.
It what?
Get dark.
Will get dark. Get dark.
Gets dark.
Gets dark. Yeah, gets dark.
Right? Simple
Without
present.
will.
Simple present.
Before it gets dark.
I would like to finish it before it gets dark. Okay? We are going to have a rest. We will be on holiday, and we have the word while. Okay?
We are going to have a rest while
we are going to have a rest while we are
on holiday.
On holiday.
We're going to have a rest while we're on holiday. In America, we usually say, well, we are on vacation. But in England, they say, well, we are on holiday. Same thing. All right, so we are going to have a rest while we're on holiday. I feel very British when I say it like that. All right. He will not regret it.
He will
Not regret it. She will move away. So what do we say?
He will
not regret it.
I better put will not. So that will not regret it until
she
when?
moves
She
away.
moves away.
She moves away.
Away.
Moves
Perfect.
away.
She won't regret it until she moves away. Until she moves away. Good. You guys are doing great tonight. Such intelligent students I have. All right. So the next one. Can you water the flower when
we'll leave the house?
leave the house? Can you water the flowers when we leave the house? Again, what did we do? Simple present.
Simple present, yes.
In the time clause. The time clause, simple present. Here's the one we were practicing tonight, as soon as.
Yeah.
So this one is an imperative, but the same thing. So get in touch
with him
as
soon as
I'm going to write.
Should we say I'm going to, or just I write?
I write.
As soon as I write to him.
I write to him.
Right. Get in touch with him as soon as I write to him. Okay. Get in touch with him as soon as I write to him.
Come to see me.
All right. Come to see me. You will feel alone sometimes.
Come to see me.
Come to see me whenever you feel alone. Come to see me whenever you feel alone. All right. I will find the bottle opener, then I will open the bottle. So we're going to start with the moment.
The moment I find the opener.
I find the opener.
I will open the bottle.
I will open the bottle.
I will open.
The moment, remember the moment is the same as soon as. Immediately after. The moment or as soon as, same thing.
Yeah.
We will go to the shop. We will be walking the dog. Okay. So we will go to the shop while again
I'm walking the dog.
we want that
While
we are
walking the dogs.
we'll go to the shop while we are walking the dog. Okay. I will have I'll have finished my lesson by noon. I will come around.
Okay.
After I finish my lesson, we come around.
After I finish my lesson, after I finish
I will come.
I will come around.
I'll
come around. Now I'm going to push this done button, but I don't guarantee that the computer is going to say we're correct. I'm telling you as your teacher that this is correct. But let's see what the computer says. The computer says 8. What?
One is wrong.
What they don't like?
How many mistakes?
What?
Oh
my goodness. All right. I don't know. They didn't like our swimming. Oh my gosh.
Our swim.
Let me see. Show the answers. What did they think here? After I have finished my lesson by noon? Well, after I have finished my lesson. Oh, they had present perfect, but big deal.
No, you did.
I have.
And we wrote will not, and the correct answer is won't.
Mr. Webb, now you feel what we are feeling.
I know. I hate computer corrected tests because I would like to finish. Well, I said I would like to finish it. Soon after we get there, we'll send her a message. Well, they didn't have a her over here, you see?
Yes. yes.
See, the person who wrote this is not a very, well, you swim? Ah, I'm telling you, we have a perfect score. Do not listen to this computer.
Yes.
Okay, no problems?
No problem, Mr. Webb.
All right, good. Let's finish up then with the listening practice from the chapter, okay? So I'm going to go back to the book, and I'm going to go backwards to, oops, there it is, to page, what's the page number here? 59, page 59. You're going to take some notes, okay? We'll finish up with this listening practice, and then tomorrow night, there's one other important thing I want to talk about in this chapter, because this chapter really only has these two important things. One about the time clauses and what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Okay, so what's our big lesson from tonight? If we have a future time clause, we need a present tense verb, right? That's the big idea for tonight. All right, so here we're going to have an interview with a girl named Almaz, and she has experience where she worked at a library, and she is volunteering at a new place, this nursing home, and she's going to have new responsibilities there. So we have first, what were her responsibilities? Take notes about that. And then what will her responsibilities be? And even if you don't have a book, you can just copy in your notebook. So we're looking for 6 things. 3 of her responsibilities at her old job, and 3 of the responsibilities in her new job. Okay? Everybody?
What page, please?
59. 59.
Okay.
59. Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to turn on the sound and turn off the microphones, okay? So we'll have a nice quiet time. No dogs, no birds, no chickens, no roosters. Okay, and mute everybody. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to play this CD. It's about 2.5 minutes. So listen carefully. We're looking for 3 of her old responsibilities and 3 of her new responsibilities. Okay, here we go.
Unit 5. Around Town. Page 59. Exercises 2A and 2B.
Hi, are you the volunteer coordinator?
Yep, Steve Jones. And you're Almaz, did I say it right?
Yes, exactly. Almaz Bekele. Nice to meet you.
You too. Please, have a seat. I was just looking over your application to volunteer here at Quiet Palms, and it looks really good. Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. You wrote that you've been a volunteer before. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. I volunteered last summer at the public library downtown.
What did you do there?
I worked with adults who wanted to learn how to read. I also taught a little writing, and on Saturdays, I read stories to the kids.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, but what I really liked was working with the older people. It felt like I was doing something really worthwhile.
Uh-huh. So now, tell me why you want to volunteer in a nursing home.
Well, I think I might want to work in the healthcare field someday, but I won't know for sure until I get some experience.
I see. Well, we'd love to have you volunteer here.
Great! When can I start?
I like your enthusiasm, but we have some health requirements. First, you need to take a blood test and a TB test. You can start as soon as we get the results. It usually takes 2 or 3 days.
Okay, I'll take care of that right away. Also, I was wondering, can you tell me what my responsibilities will be?
Sure. One thing volunteers do is, they help residents with their meals. You might encourage them to eat, or just keep them company during mealtime.
Yeah, my grandmother always eats more when I'm with her. She likes having people around.
Then I'm sure you understand that you need to be patient and compassionate with the residents.
I know.
Volunteers also deliver mail and flowers, and they take residents for walks. You'll get more responsibilities as soon as you feel more confident.
Sounds good.
There's an orientation next Monday at 8:30.
I'll be there.
One more thing. You'll need to make a commitment to volunteer at least 3 hours per week.
No problem. I can't wait to start.
Okay, let me turn your microphones back on. And we'll talk about the answers. All right, hello everybody.
Hello.
All right, so we have the library responsibilities and the nursing home responsibilities, okay? What were her responsibilities back when she volunteered at the library? She worked with adults. What else did she do?
She writing and talk.
Pardon?
Read stories to
writing
the kids.
She read to
And
kids.
she read stories to kids.
She read stories to kids, and so she worked with adults learning to read. She read stories to kids, and what was the third one?
No, the
She helped
second
them.
one is writing and talk.
Oh, she helped with writing, right? She helped people
Yep.
learn how to write, okay?
Yes.
And what were her responsibilities going to be at the nursing home?
Help
Help
with the,
residents with
help with
the
the meals.
Help with the meals,
Take residents for walks.
take residents for walks, and one other thing,
Deliver mail and
mail.
flowers.
Deliver milk and flowers.
delivering mail and flowers. Exactly, exactly. No problems? All right, good. Let's finish up with the vocabulary and then we'll be done for tonight. All right, now I think most of these words you know, except for maybe one. And that's this word here, worthwhile. Have you heard this word before, worthwhile?
No, not.
Worthwhile means valuable, important, right? So for example, if you say, oh, my daughter is a nurse, I say, oh, that's a worthwhile career. That's a valuable career. That's an important career, right? Or you say, hey, how was that class? Oh, it's really worthwhile. It's really valuable. It's really important and useful. It's worthwhile. Worthwhile. That's the word probably you don't know. I think all these others are pretty familiar to you, right?
Yes.
Yes? Yeah.
Yes.
If you say, for example, you can't wait, what does that mean? I can't wait.
You want to start soon?
Hurry.
I'm very excited, right? I'm very excited, right? All right, good. Okay, so let's see if we can put these words into the story. What does it say? Last summer, Almaz volunteered at the public library downtown. She liked working with the older people because she felt that she was doing something worthwhile, something important. Today, she's meeting with Steve, the volunteer what?
Coordinator.
Coordinator, right. The volunteer coordinator at Quiet Palms, a nursing home. She wants to do what?
Volunteer.
Volunteer. Yeah. Remember in English, everybody, the word volunteer is a verb and a noun,
Volunteer.
right? So you can say, I want to volunteer, or I am a volunteer. Both are the same thing. It's a
Oh, I
verb.
work a volunteer.
I want to volunteer.
When you working as a volunteer, how
Yeah,
you
I'm
pronounce that?
I'm working as a volunteer. I'm volunteering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can say both. It's a verb and a noun.
Okay.
All right. She wants to volunteer there to see if she likes working in the healthcare field. Everybody knows what field means in this case?
Yeah.
The business, right?
Yeah.
The healthcare business, the healthcare industry. Steve tells her about some of the what?
Responsibilities.
Responsibilities at Quiet Palms, right? The responsibilities. He says it's very important for the volunteers to be
Patient.
Patient.
patient and
And compassionate.
compassionate when they're working with the
Residents.
residents of the home, right? And he asks Almaz to make a
Commitment.
make a promise, make a commitment, right? A commitment or a promise.
Mhm.
Make a commitment to volunteer there at least 3 hours a week. Almaz agrees to attend a what?
Orientation.
An orientation. Do we all know this word, orientation?
Yes.
sir.
It's like an introduction to something, right? An introduction. New student orientation. All right. And she says she
Can wait
can't wait. She's very
to start.
excited. She's very excited. All right. Very good. Okay. So there we go. Time clauses. Do we feel okay about time clauses? So usually what are the verbs in time clauses? Simple,
Present.
present, or simple
Past.
with the exception of while,
While.
right? While
Continue.
is usually continuous, but all the others are usually simple present or simple past.
Simple past.
I'll tell you one more thing before we stop, because I should mention it, and we do have a little extra time, so let me mention it before we stop tonight. I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't. So I'm going to put the board up for just a second. And remember, after and as soon as basically mean the same thing, right?
Yes.
And with after and as soon as, we don't have to, but we can use perfect verbs. So for example, you see what I did there? Instead of just simple present, I use present perfect. After I have taken the test, I will get my diploma. As soon as Carrie has finished her homework, she will go to the movie. Not common, but possible. And we also can see it in past perfect too. So for example, after I had done the work, I took a lunch break. It's not common, but it's possible. It's not common, but it's possible when you use after with a perfect verb, or as soon as with a perfect verb. You're not going to do this with before or until or when, but you can do it with after and as soon as, those two. So usually simple present, but I can use present perfect or past perfect. Okay, does everybody have that copy down?
Not yet.
Not yet? Wait a minute.
Please. Yes, I got it.
Got it? All right. All right. So So let's go around in a circle. I'm going to ask you one question with a time clause. All right. Isadora, what are you going to do before you go to bed tonight? Hey? Hello, I don't hear you, no. I don't hear you at all.
Okay.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Ready?
Okay. So what are you going to do before you go to bed?
Before I take a shower.
So give me the whole sentence. Before
I go to bed tonight, I take a shower.
I will take a shower.
I go take a shower.
I will take a shower.
I will take a shower. Okay.
Right. Okay. Guadalupe.
Yes.
What are you going to do as soon as this class is over?
As soon as this class is over, I'm going to have a dinner with my husband.
We're going to have dinner. Okay, very nice. All right. Claudia.
Yes.
What will you do when you wake up tomorrow morning?
When I wake up tomorrow morning, I will going to take a shower.
Okay, so when you wake up tomorrow morning, you will take a shower. Okay, when you wake up. All right, Julio.
Yes.
What do you usually do before you take a test?
I usually rest.
You get plenty of rest before you take a test? Okay, good. Ching.
Hi.
What do you usually do while you are on your lunch break?
While lunch break. Lunch break. I would check my cell phone. I would check Facebook.
You check your cell phone. All right. Okay.
Cell phone.
So while you're on your break, you check your cell phone.
I check. Yes.
Okay. Good. Armando.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. What places have you lived since you came to Los Angeles?
Since I came to Los Angeles, I have been lived in 3 places.
In 3 different places. Okay. So
different
since you came to Los Angeles, remember since is always going to be with that present perfect in the main verb, right? So since I came, simple past, I have lived in 3 different places. All right. David. David Ezuela, are you there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
David, what will you do when your English is perfect?
When my English is perfect, I will go to apply to another job.
I'll look for another job. Okay, good. Leonardo. Leonardo, are you there? No, maybe not. All right. Noel. Noel, how about you? Noel, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Noel, what will you do after this? Oh, okay. You're all right. You're too slow. You're too slow, Leonardo.
No.
All right. I'm talking to Noel right now. I'll be with you in a moment. All right, Noel. What will you do once this class is over for the summer? What will you do once this class is over for the summer?
I'll probably enroll to a new class, or if I don't pass, I will stay at the same.
You'll start a new class. Okay, good. Yeah. All right, Leonardo.
Hey.
Hey. What are you going to do when you have free time this weekend?
When I take a break.
When you have free time, what are you going to do when you have some free time this weekend?
I will rest.
You will rest when you have some free time, okay?
Yeah.
And Edviges.
Yes, teacher.
What do you like to do before you go out with your friends?
Before I go out with my friends, I like to go to the beach or watching the movies.
When you go out, you like to go to the beach. But what do you like to do before you go out?
Before?
To get ready.
For example, take a shower or something like that.
Take a shower, brush
Yeah.
brush your hair,
Yeah.
put on makeup. I don't know.
Look for my favorite clothes.
Get dressed. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind. Okay. Good enough. All right. Does everybody feel good about all of this?
Yeah.
Más o menos?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good. Look it over in your book and remember those future time clauses need those present tense verbs. Those future time clauses need those present tense verbs. So keep that in mind, okay? Because that will be on your test. Now, just to remind you, if you look at your paper, if you are level 4, it says right here in level 4, it says, can you use adverb clauses with when, while, before, and after? That's for level 4. Right? For level 5, it says, ¿dónde está level 5? When, while, before, after, and level 5. Oh, level 5 has because, since, and so. And level 6 has, ¿dónde está? As soon as, I think, is on level 6.
Do we have a copy of that, teacher? What's on the book?
No, it's on the web. It's on the website, and I gave it out on the first day of the class.
Yeah, the pink sheet, right?
Right.
The pink folder?
The checklist.
No, pink sheet.
Yeah, I gave everybody a checklist in the first week of class. If you don't have it, you can get it from the website. But do you want me to send it by text to everybody?
Please.
Yes.
Okay, I'll send these by text tonight to everybody. Just
Right, teacher, thanks.
because at the end of this week, I'm going to give you everybody a practice test, okay? For your level, whatever, level 4, level 5, or level 6. I'll give you a practice test because we're getting close to the end, right? Because not next week, but next weekend, I'm going to have you do the final testing, okay?
Wow.
Because remember, we only have, like I said, we only have, after tonight, 9 more classes. We got 1 this week and 4 and 4, and then we're done. Wow. And then we just take it easy for 8 weeks until August. And hopefully in August, we can come back to the school, maybe. I don't know. They haven't given us any announcement yet. Yes, sir.
How we are going to apply for the test in the class time, or you are going to send?
No. I'm gonna give you the test by Schoology, or you can print it out and do it on paper.
Okay.
You can either do it on Schoology, which is the easiest way, or you can print out my pages and then circle the answers.
Okay.
But the practice test I'll give you next week, okay?
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that tomorrow.
It will be reading classes for next year.
For registration.
For reading.
Reading classes. English 9. You know the class. The class they have.
The reading class. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let me find out from Miss Chan what's going on, because you're interested in the reading class, right?
Yes.
For fall. Let let me see what's going on with that. Because yeah, since I never see any of the principals, I don't know very much what's going on.
Because Yajaira say no more people, no more space.
Nobody's going to the reading class?
No.
Did they cancel it or?
No, because the class was full.
Oh, the class was full.
Yeah.
Was full.
Was full
Yeah, I don't know.
for this trimester.
Okay. All right. Well, let me check into that. I hope you can get in for August, but let me check into that. Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
I'll try to find out something for you.
Okay.
Okay. But like I said, tomorrow I'm going to have a practice test for everybody. Okay.
Okay.
You can work on over the weekend and study. Okay.
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 All right. And then I'm going to send this to everybody tonight. But make sure you look at your level, right?
Yes.
I'm going to send you 3. I'm going to send you 3 different papers. Make sure you look at your level. Remember, intermediate high A is level 4. Intermediate high B is level 5. And advanced low is level 6. So because there are different things you have to know for each level. So so I'll send these checklists out tonight, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. We're done.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Bye.
All right.
Good night.
Enough.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you
Good night,
tomorrow.
everybody.
One more
Good night,
day.
everyone.
One more day this week. We can do it.
See you.
Bye,
Sí se
Isidora.
puede.
Bye,
Sí se
Leo.
puede. Sí se